I would now like to introduce our keynote speaker, Rose Tomei. Rose and her family left Syria due to the war and moved to Lebanon. In January 2016, Rose, her husband, and 4 children were resettled to Canada as privately sponsored refugees. In Syria, Rose worked as an English teacher. She currently works at Immigrant Multicultural Services Society in Prince George as a link settlement assistant and as a Syrian refugee assistant. She also teaches Arabic for anyone who wants to learn the language. So if you want to learn Arabic, come see Rose. Please help me give a warm welcome to Rose.
Hello, everyone. Marhaba. We say in Arabic, marhaba. I want first to speak a little bit about our journey from Syria to Canada. So I will mention names like citizen, a refugee, an immigrant, permanent residents, and hopefully one day will be citizen again. It's names that we were called by those names. Like I was a Syrian citizen, then I became a refugee, Syrian refugee. It's not easy. It's not an easy journey. It's not an easy thing to think about it. It's like a circle. It's like a journey, big journey from Syria to Canada. And I praise God that I'm now here with my family. I'm living in a very good place, safe place. So I want to thank Canada and want to thank all the people who helped the Syrians to have this good place, all the funders. So it is a journey of gain and loss. It's like we came to Canada and we gained a lot. We had a good life now, we are planning, it's so hard for me to speak. So we have a good life, but at the same time, we are losing our country. We are losing friends back home. We are still losing members of the families. So gain and loss. So Syrian refugees now, they are still in the midst. Enjoying, yes, but at the same time grieving. At the same time, like as if 2 people are living in one person. But what should we do as Syrian refugees? Should we accept to be victims or should be victor? So I decided to be a victor. But that doesn't mean that emotions, that grief is still in me. It's still, but I decided to go forward, me and with my family, planning for a better future in my life. And I think this is all Syrian people, they are having the same emotional things. And I would like to encourage all the Syrian refugees to go forward, even though you have these emotions in your inside. But, I'm trying my best as a settlement worker there, as a Syrian refugees assistant in Prince George. I'm trying my best to hold their hands. So all of us hold our hands and go together forward for a better future, so we can be part of building a better community. So we came 2016, on January 2016, me and my husband and my 3 children. I have 4 children, but my son is still in Dubai. He couldn't come with us because of his marriage. But hope one day that he can come. Maybe I shared something like some Syrian families, they still have some members of their families back in Syria or spread everywhere. So the mom and the dad here, but like their kids, some of their kids are still away. So it's really, how you can enjoy, and without the whole family like together. It's like a puzzle. I spoke one day, it's like having a very nice puzzle. Precious one, expensive one, but that puzzle missing a part, a small piece in the midst of it. So every time you look at that puzzle, you can't enjoy it. Yeah, but this is the feeling of many Syrians. So I'm speaking here as if, I'm just giving you the message that the Syrians have, but also I'm suffering also. So we came and we were very welcomed at the airport at Prince George. We were sponsored by very great church, Westwood Church. They helped us a lot. They provided a place to be settled in. And also many people from the community received us and they welcomed us there in Prince George. So the next day, the church said, well, sleep, maybe you need 2-3 days. And we said, no, we want to live again. We want to start our life again. We were for 5 years almost, we are just waiting to start, to be settled in a place and we can start working and we can start our normal life, So the next day we went to the bank and then we went to IMSS. We had some English classes there and then we volunteered there at IMSS. And then the Syrian refugees started to come to Prince George and we were going every time and receiving that family. 6 families, they came after us. And it's a privilege for us, to be as a family for all of them. And my children, my son, he is now in grade 12. He couldn't continue his studies in Lebanon, but I'm very thankful to Canada, because I can see my children now are very happy and they are continuing their education. And my other son, he is now studying at Columbia Bible College. And all the family, we are a musician. All of us are musicians. And so now I work at IMSS. And I see the Syrian families every day. And I see the challenges that they are having and the good things that they are passing through. So they are very grateful, very thankful that they are here now in Canada. But at the same time, there are many challenges, of course. The first challenge is the language. They asked me, Rose, please go and speak and ask for more English classes. And there are some issues also, like dental issues for their teeth. Also finding jobs, it's not easy for them. Some people, they hire them for 2 days, and they say, well, okay, English is not a problem, come and work with us. And then after 2 days, they say to them, sorry, we can't communicate. They send them back, And so these are some of the challenges that they are facing. And also, it's not just in Prince George, but also we help some cities outside of Prince George by translating to some Syrian family who came to the hospital in Prince George. And it's a privilege for me and for my family to help those families. What can I say also? I would like to say maybe Syrian refugees, they are enjoying, but at the same time, they can't enjoy 100% of everything that, is provided to them. Because they are here living in Canada, but their heart's still in Syria. And if you watch any Syrian families, they always have their mobiles with them. And in their mobile, it's their country there. So they watch every day the news. Every day, they go and talk to their parents, talk to their families. So it's hard for them to enjoy everything. But I think everything needs time. And I would like to say that you people are great people. The way that you received all the Syrian refugees, the way that you helped them, the way that you supported them, it's amazing. Like, without you, we can't continue living in Canada. Without you, it will be so hard for us, for all of us. So thank you so much. And I want to say something so funny about my cat. So we left Syria, and we took our cat to Lebanon with us. And it was the first refugee's cat. And, it was with us for 4 years. And then when we had this call from the immigration office, you are welcome to come to Canada. I said, well, what about my cat? And they said, no, you can't take your cat with you. I said, oh, no. So, it was so hard to say goodbye to that cat. So in the plane, me and my husband, we were crying, we left our cat. So we came to Canada, and we started to look for another kitten. So we had now a kitten, and we called him almost the same name as our cat. And then there was a reporter came to do a kind of interview with us through the radio. And he said, oh, you have a kitten. I said, yeah, we have one. And he said, what's the name of the kitten? I said, well, TJ. And he said, why did you call him this? I said, because we had a cat in Lebanon. We couldn't bring it with us. So after 2 weeks of that, I had an email from a lady, very nice lady. She said, I am a vet, and I'm ready to bring your cat to Canada. And I will pay everything, like for the plane, for the. I'm ready. I will bring your cat for sure to you. And then I looked at my daughter. She said, well, we spoke about our brother, who is still away. But I mentioned this story because just to say how nice you are, all of you, people of Canada. You are very nice. You are living in a wonderful country. And I just want to say, take care of this country. Love each other. Love this country faithfully and love each other. Because love builds communities. Love prevents war. Yeah, so I just want to say thank you. A big thanks to God who brought us to here. Thanks to Canada, to the Prime Minister, and to all of you. We love you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rose. Thank you for sharing your story. We just wanted to give you a little token of our appreciation. Thank you. Thank you for being with us here for the full day and participating.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Oh, the cat hasn't come yet, so I think they're debating the cat or the sun. I'm not sure. I would now like to call Tracy Weidman, please, to the stage for closing remarks.
Great, thank you. Just to wrap up then, thanks so much to everyone for your meaningful contributions today, the transparency, the openness, the participation. Farah and I were commenting at the break like, wow, everyone still seems engaged and they're talking. And so we were just so happy to see that level of participation. And again, thank you so much to all the panelists and the presenters. We had over 20 speakers here today, and they were all sharing such lovely, immense insights and experiences, and it really made the day what it was today. So thanks to all who are still here, and Rose, for your comments you've left us with. It's really lovely to hear that at the end. And just a few key insights. We've been talking about the insights and learnings, and I see there's a few blossoms that have emerged on the tree, so that's great, and we'll be looking at those just to gather some of those to collate for our report. But in some of the key insights, I participated in a couple of the breakout sessions, and also just hearing from the plenary this morning, and we heard about driver's licenses and language barriers and accreditation, and this was just really shining a light and highlighting how the limitations within our systems and structures, this asks us to advocate and find the spaces to shift and create meaningful change where we can. Another is that healing happens in community and safe spaces are needed. And there is a need for trauma-informed settlement work as well as a need for support for settlement workers around the vicarious trauma. The support is a necessity, not a luxury. That was something that was mentioned in one of the groups I was in. So this asks us how to create these safe spaces for the support and healing. Another one was the importance of pulling back labels and not expecting youth to be spokespersons or any newcomer to be a spokesperson, and recognizing that everyone comes with those internal and external resources. And so this asks us to create space for the active engagement and for creating space for that decision-making to be at the tables. Another was the importance of recognizing the dimensional experience, and Rose, you spoke to this, the gain and the loss, the suffering and the resilience, and that asks us for how we create space for that tension, that paradox. So I think that's something we all know in the work we do. And also finally, the importance of beauty and music and humor, cat stories, I thought it was great, and filling ourselves up, because this is so important for all of us as we carry on with this work. So with that, I finally want to just encourage everyone to keep integrating the insights, thinking about how we will carry this work on. And finally, a huge thank you to the AMSA team for making this day possible and all of the volunteers. And definitely a special thank you to Bahar Taheri, who was a former AMSA staff person, but we pulled her back in to carry out this work today. And I think it's just been such a lovely, immense day, and everything's been on time, and it's gone so well. So thank you so much. And I think our volunteers are still here. Tina, Fausto, Zareen, and Saguna, thank you for supporting us as well. And again, the AMSA staff, they are such a pleasure to work with and so hardworking and committed, and I feel very privileged to be able to work with them. So that's all I have to say. So safe travels to everyone, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you.